Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Russell, and in Dr. Waller's class, Effective Teaching and Learning in Higher Education, we have been studying asynchronous learning. So I'm going to create this PowerPoint on active learning to show asynchronous learning. Student learning, there's more than one type of student learning. We have active learning, which allows the students to perform an action. It allows them to relate information to an experience and apply information to real life situations. But they could also be passive. They can listen to a lecture, take notes, sitting still, and refrain from speaking in class. Whenever a student is a passive learner, they do not retain as much information. In order for a student to retain more information, they need to be an active learner. Now we will look at some different types of active learning. Some of the benefits of working together in groups are it promotes the students' learning and academic achievement, it increases the students' retention, enhances the students' satisfaction with their learning experience, develops skills in oral communication. It develops the students' social skills and promotes student self-esteem. It also helps to promote positive race relations. Whenever a student is having to work in groups, they aren't set with just a certain person. We can allow students to work with different people, different races, and different levels of education in order for them to learn and appreciate what they have and what others have. The fundamental skills of cooperative learning, the first one is positive interdependence. This is where we sink or swim together. Each group member's efforts are required and indispensable for group success. Each group member has a unique contribution to make to the joint effort because of his or her resources and the role and task responsibilities. Second, we have face-to-face interaction. This is where we promote each other's success. We orally explain how to solve problems, teaching one's knowledge to another, and we check for understanding. We discuss concepts being learned, and we use connecting present with the past learning. Next, we have individual and a group accountability. We can't just let somebody do the work and then we just kind of tag along behind them and get credit for it as well. This is where keeping the size of the group small. The smaller the size of the group, the greater the individual accountability may be. Giving an individual test to each student, randomly examining students orally by calling on one student to present his or her group's work to the teacher in the presence of the group or to the entire class. Also observing each group and recording the frequency with which each member contributes to the group's work. Assigning one student in each group to role of checker, the checker asks other group members to explain the reasoning and rationale underlying group answers. Also having students teach what they learn to someone else. Next we have interpersonal and small group skills. Social skills must be taught. Each group must have leadership, decision making, trust building, communication, conflict management skills. And finally, the group processing. Group members discuss how well they have achieved their goals and maintain effective working relationships. Describe what member actions are helpful and not helpful, and make decisions about what behaviors to continue or to change. Next, some of the types of groups of cooperative learning are jigsaw, think, pair, share, three-step interview, round-robin brainstorming, minute review, numbered heads together, team pair solo, mentoring, peer learning, and syndicate groups. For example, on the think, pair, share, we would take time for them to think about the assignment by themselves, then talk with someone else in the group, or talk with someone else as a group, and then share it with everyone. Experiential learning. This is another way for a student to actively learn. Learning is closely tied to the context in which the learning occurred. They provide times for reflection of the learning experience, and students are more likely to be able to transfer what they have learned to the real world. Types of experiential learning are case method, problem-based learning, games, simulation, role-playing, and field experience. In some of these, they would actually, such as role-playing, they would actually put themselves in the situation and see how they would handle it. Values of active learning. Storing information into long-term memory requires processing of the new information, which is done through active learning. Group work requires students to listen to others, summarize, and explain one's ideas. Active learning involves discovering, processing, and applying information. Whenever a student is active learning, they are definitely using more of their potential than if they are just a passive learner. Cooperative learning encourages discourse and collaboration, promotes reflection, and develops autonomy and responsibility. It improves problem-solving abilities and provides modeling opportunities. And the following is my list of references. There are many references out there that you can use for cooperative learning, but these are just a few that I have chosen to use.